I would like to invite Mr. Sumit Narang, President, Pro Biking Business Unit, on the stage, please.
Well, thank you very much. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Sumit Narang, and I head the Pro Biking Business Unit at Bajaj Auto, which Triumph would be a proud part of. We have with us today Mr. Rajiv Bajaj, our Managing Director, the senior leadership team, and colleagues from Bajaj Auto Limited. On their behalf, I extend a very warm welcome to the senior management from Triumph, Mr. Nick Bloor, Chief Executive Officer, Mr. Paul Stroud, Chief Commercial Officer, Mr. Steve Sargent, Chief Product Officer, Stuart Wood, Chief Engineer, and Greg Willis, Chief Marketing Officer. Together, we welcome members of the media for taking out the time to be with us today at this momentous occasion. We also welcome dealers who have come from across the country and will be expanding the current Triumph network. Today is the day we all have been waiting for. We are here at Utsav, which is our recreation and wellness center in Akudi. This is built on the ground zero where the first Bajaj plant stood in the 60s. And we thought there would be no better place than this to start another landmark journey in motorcycling and bring a world-class brand like Triumph to a large number of Indian customers. The Bajaj Auto and Triumph Motorcycles partnership is coming together of two experts to create and market a best-in-class range of mid-sized motorcycles. Last week, the Speed 400 and Scrambler 400 were unveiled in London, and the response from Indian customers has been absolutely overwhelming, be it conversations, comments, or the large number of bookings that we have already received from customers without even seeing the bike or knowing the price. I think it's a testimony to the passion and commitment of teams behind these fabulous machines. India is the first market where these bikes are being launched, and many more will follow. I know all of you are eager to see the bikes, and you will, but before that, I would like you to get a deeper appreciation of what makes a Triumph Triumph. A brand that has been loved across geographies and time periods. Charmingly classic, yet ingeniously modern. And who better to tell us the story than the Chief Commercial Officer of Triumph Motorcycles? Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together and welcome Mr. Paul Stroud.
Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for all coming here today. It's lovely to see so many of you join us to hear about our new motorcycles and the results of our unique collaboration with Bajaj Auto. Now, before we show you the bikes and Steve comes up to take you through the details, I'd like to give you all a little background on Triumph today, providing you with some of the highlights from our incredible history and an overview of what I believe makes us truly special in the motorcycle world. Our modern era began in 1990, and in the last 33 years has seen Triumph grow across the globe, reaching hundreds and thousands of riders. Operationally, we have 13 subsidiaries in many of the biggest markets in the world, matched by a world-class distributor network that gives us a truly global footprint. We have 4 manufacturing facilities, with plants at our headquarters in Hinckley in the UK, at Chonburi in Thailand, and Seagate facilities in Brazil and here in India. We also have over 3,000 employees, encompassing our teams in sales and operations, and also manufacturing, design, and engineering. And it's this team that sits at the heart of what makes a Triumph a Triumph. With their 30-plus years of passion, innovation, and engineering excellence, has seen the brand lead the way in many of the large-capacity motorcycle categories to date. We have over 800 dealers worldwide across 68 countries. And it's this network and the passion of our riders and our dealers has been strengthened by this transformation that we have made over the last few years to what we call Triumph World Black. This has delivered a destination retail experience that truly represents our iconic British brand all over the world. You know, in the last 3 to 4 years, our growth has also seen Triumph enter many new and exciting markets, to include China, which have all contributed to us setting a new landmark for the brand, with over 90,000 motorcycles being built in our anniversary year, and selling more than 1 million Triumphs since the brand returned back in 1990. And over the last 3 years, we have broke record after record after record. The efforts of our teams across the world and the passion, and indeed the support from you, the media, has, I believe, well and truly secured our position in riders' minds as the premium lifestyle British motorcycle brand. Now, turning to our bikes. Up until today, we've been focused on setting the benchmark in the 3 biggest, larger capacity motorcycle categories in the world, where I'm certain that many of you will already know some of our biggest names, including the Triumph motorcycle, yes, that literally defined motorcycling for generations, which of course is the Triumph Bonneville, the original British icon, born in 1959 and named after the home of speed, the Bonneville Salt Flats, an amazing place to ride. The Bonneville T120 delivered groundbreaking performance. You know, it fast became the 60s teenage biker weapon of choice. And from the Bonneville also came the Triumph Scrambler, where today our 900 and 1200 models deliver that real deal when it comes to all-road capability and, importantly, style. And these were born from another Triumph first, with the genesis of the first production Scramblers in the 60s, and all from Triumph. And our modern classic family has grown even further to reflect many styles and flavors of Triumph from the past and in the modern custom classic world, including the Bonneville Bobber, a real brutal beauty, and an engineering masterpiece with its floating aluminium seat. And alongside this, we have the Bonneville Speedmaster, the British custom icon, taking what the Bobber attitude and adding a 2-seat setup and touring capability. And then there is the Thruxton RS. This bike delivers genuine modern sports bike capability, married to the unique and authentic style of the original and ultimate cafe racer. This was also born from a racing legend, where the racing Bonnevilles of the 60s gained the nickname Thruxton from the success in the Thruxton 500 endurance race. And finally, with our modern classics, there is the Speed Twin. This bike delivers our most modern classic sports bike, combining category-leading handling with thrilling twin power and torque. Now, it's important to say that our classics absolutely do not live in the past. This category has grown from the sheer joy of riding and owning something beautiful, where our modern classics bring an unintimidating fun and style hand in hand with genuinely modern riding capability and performance. But the classics are just one part of our story. We're also known for our modern icons, such as the category-creating Speed Triple. This was a bike that ignited and kicked off the naked sports category and introduced the term factory street fighter, starting a modern bloodline that once more leads today with our latest 180 PS powered generation. You know, we also have the category-defining Street Triple family, another class leader, with its race spec 765 triple and class-leading ride, truly setting it apart. In the adventure world, we have made our mark and led with an all-new triple-powered Tiger 1200 and the class-leading Tiger 900, both with our innovative and distinctive T-plane triple engine. And you know, they're both part of the world's longest-running adventure story, where Tigers have traveled the world and indeed set new benchmarks time and time and time again. And then we can't talk about Triumph without mentioning a 2.5-liter rocket. Yes, this is the world's biggest production engine with the world's highest torque of 221 Newton meters. Without doubt, a genuine bucket list bike for every motorcyclist. You know, in the last few years, we've started our journey towards smaller capacity classes, bringing even more riders to the Triumph brand, launching our new middleweight Triumphs such as the Trident 660 and the Tiger Sports 660, both of which are winning awards and fans for their game-changing capability. You know, looking forwards, we're also very soon to be confirming the launch date of our all-new lineup of MX and Enduro competition motorcycles, which will be campaigned by our new factory racing teams and World Championship entries for 2024. We also, of course, have an eye firmly set on the future, where you may have seen our prototype development with the fabulous TE1. And as announced last year and introduced into some of our dealerships already, we have an exciting new partnership with Ossic Bikes. They are one of the world's most popular builders of children's electric trials and off-road motorcycles, helping us expand our off-road portfolio and indeed our ability to reach younger riders. And it's not just the bikes that makes up the Triumph world. We've seen a transformation how riders personalize their ride to express their individuality, where our accessory range has grown exponentially with over 450 options now available, all designed by us, alongside the bikes, and all covered by the same Triumph warranty, giving you that extra peace of mind. And yes, we also design and create our own range of lifestyle and rider clothing. So, now coming back to what makes a Triumph a Triumph. Well, there are 5 key things that we absolutely focus on, our passion and our efforts. The first being to ensure that our unique design DNA and look is always at the heart of our bikes, with that truly original, distinctive, and charismatic styling. We also focus on leading the way in terms of quality, with the attention to detail and finish that should always be considered to be the best. With the ride, our aim has always been to deliver a bike that is both engaging and also genuinely easy and confidence-inspiring to ride for every level of rider, from beginners to the highly experienced. With the performance, for us, it's always about having that distinctive and rewarding Triumph character with its compelling and responsive power delivery, exhilarating when you want it to be, or indeed relaxed when desired. And finally, we always aim 100% for customer focus, creating bikes that our riders really want and value, from the technology to the specification to the accessories, and indeed to the all-important price, all focused on delivering their perfect ride. So let me share with you now some key highlights of our incredible story. I promise you it's the edited version. Okay, you're still with me, that's good. Okay, so Triumph is the original British motorcycle brand, and it has a history like no other. There from the very beginning, Triumph has played a major part in shaping the motorcycle world that we all see today. From racing in the first ever TT, to creating the world's first parallel twin, to setting and breaking records across the whole of the world of sporting achievement, and along the way, helping define the very essence of the biker and the attitude and the style that went with it. Triumph has been the bike of choice for generations. You know, all built over 120 years of passion and design, engineering, and attitude. The brand was born in the UK in 1902, and it became synonymous with British style and performance across the world. And over 8 decades of innovation, engineering excellence, Triumph has created undisputed motorcycle icons that changed the world. From the very first prototype in 1901, which was basically a bicycle with a 2.25 horsepower engine strapped to it, to the legends that include Edward Turner's industry-changing first ever parallel twin, the Speed Twin, shown here on my top right. And of course, as I said earlier, arguably the most famous name in motorcycling, the 1959 Bonneville T120, shown here in the bottom middle. Now, back in 1983, when the old Triumph business stopped trading, John Blower bought the rights to the brand, and with a hand-selected team from the previous engineering group, and along with new innovators in design and, importantly, engineering, they together created a Triumph for a new era. Launching in 1990 with an HQ and factory right in the heart of the Midlands in the UK, where it all began and, importantly, is our home today. Triumph for the last 33 years has once more taken the lead in motorcycle innovation and creating impact. Now, talking about impact, in the movies, Triumph has played a starring role in some of the most iconic moments in film history. In Hollywood in the 20th century, a bike added action and attitude to a film. And being the best motorcycle that you could buy in the 60s with that British style and that performance, the Triumph name was the first choice of stars from Marlon Brando to Steve McQueen and many more, as you can see here behind me. From the landmark biker movie, The Wild One, which is credited with literally defining the image of a biker, to the Second World War epic, The Great Escape, which features arguably the most famous bike stunt in film history. Triumph ruled the screen. And with today's box office stars, riding a Triumph on screen continues to deliver that wonderful impact for us, where our film support team have frankly never been busier, providing bikes for Triumph fans from Tom Cruise to Chris Pratt to Ryan Reynolds, and in truth, so many more. And then there's James Bond, 007 himself. He rides the Triumph with our Scrambler 1200, dead center in the opening set-piece stunt in the latest James Bond movie blockbuster, No Time to Die. Looking beyond the movies, the Triumph logo and the style and the attitude that it stands for has been embraced by some of the most famous names in fashion, music, and in public life, where Triumph bikes and the T-shirts have featured in countless adverts and personal social media content feeds, from the modern British icons such as David Beckham to American music legends such as Bruce Springsteen and Bob Dylan, and even the future King of England is a fan of the brand and known to be an owner of our bikes. Now, coming to the world of adventure, now here, Triumph has played a major part with a unique history in being the very first manufacturer to build dedicated off-roaders in the 1930s, and again, the first factory scramblers in the 1960s, and also as the bike that the adventure godfather, he was the first. Ted Simon rode around the world, helping him kick off the whole adventure movement with his book, Jupiter Travels. And today, with our best-in-class Tiger 900, Scrambler 1200, and the new Tiger 1200, we continue to innovate and shape what makes the perfect all-road, all-day adventure motorcycle, helped by some of the most famous names in off-road capability, including the most successful MX racer in history, Ricky Carmichael. And proving the capability of our Tigers, frankly, beyond any doubt, we recently smashed the Guinness World Record for how far you can travel in 24 hours on two wheels. Ivan Cervantes, 5 times Enduro World Champion, and yes, a Triumph Global Ambassador. He rode non-stop in 24 hours, 4,012 kilometers on our Tiger 1200 GT Explorer at the Nardo Technical Center in Italy. He had no sleep. Now, that's the distance of traveling from London to the Great Pyramids of Giza, and he beat the previous record by more than 600 kilometers. Incredible. Talking about legends, being the fastest motorcycle in the world is something that Triumph has a unique record of. With 4 titles in 7 decades so far, building on the innovation from the new twins of the 50s and 60s, Triumph was the name to choose to chase the horizons across the legendary Bonneville Salt Flats of Utah in the USA, which, as you can see here, saw Triumph breaking the motorcycle land speed record 4 times in less than 10 years. Now, that has to be a record in itself. And now, finally, when talking about Triumph and brand's history, we must talk about our racing. Once more, Triumph was there from the very beginning at almost every form of motorcycle competition, winning in almost every class and field, with every Triumph team and racer across the decades sharing that single-minded commitment to win. With an indelible impact on the most celebrated championships and races in history, including the legendary Isle of Man TT, where we raced in the very first TT. We set the first ever 100-mile-per-hour production lap record, and we hold multiple wins, including many Supersport TTs, courtesy of our game-changing Daytona 675. And at this year's TT, Triumph was on the podium again with our Street Triple 765 in a fully faired setup for the Supersports TT. It was ridden by Peter Hickman, who not only took second place in both races, but also delivered 130 miles per hour final lap on his Triumph. He was clearly chasing the win. At Daytona 200, the legendary American race, one of, without question, the world's most exciting bank circuits, Triumph has left another indelible mark. At the most famous Daytona 200 in history, Buddy Elmore rode from 46th place on the grid to win that race, which is, of course, where our Daytona got its name from. And in the latest incarnation, we added another title in 2014, and again in 2022 with Brandon Pash taking his Street Triple 765 to top spot again. Now, staying in the present, in the world's leading motorcycle racing championship today, MotoGP, Triumph provide the engine for the Moto2 category with our 765 Triple from our class-leading Street Triple motorcycle, which since 2019 has reinforced our reputation for leading performance and reliability across the world, breaking 80 race lap records, setting a new Moto2 top speed record of over 301 kilometers, and delivering over 1 million kilometers of racing without missing a beat. I'm very excited to be part of the Triumph team around the world who share the responsibility as custodians of the Triumph name and legacy, particularly as we begin together today the next chapter in this iconic British brand story. So, without further ado, let me now hand you over to Steve Sargent, Triumph's Chief Product Officer, who's going to come up here and tell you all about these fabulous new Triumphs. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Paul. It is indeed an honor to be here today representing the many people who've worked on bringing these new Triumphs into the world. So, let me start by confirming that we have 2 new bikes to share with you today, both of which will be joining our modern classic lineup. Now, they are born into a peerless motorcycle bloodline, where Triumph led from the beginning with the first and original roadster, the 1937 Speed Twin. Now, it's a genuine 20th century legend which changed the face of motorcycling and inspired everything that followed. Now, Triumph were also responsible for the world's very first production scramblers, inspiring a whole new category of motorcycling. And of course, the biggest legend of all, that original 1960s cafe racer, the Bonneville T120. Now, these bikes set a new standard for performance, handling, and excitement, and as such, Triumph became the brand of choice for famous bikers, from Marlon Brando, who rode his own Triumph in the iconic 50s movie The Wild One, to Steve McQueen, the king of cool, who chose to race a Triumph in the desert, but he also used one for that legendary film role in The Great Escape. And also, as Paul mentioned, Elvis Presley, the most successful solo artist in history and another cultural phenomenon, who rode Triumphs on screen, and he also gave one to each of his Memphis Mafia crew. He gave them a 1968 Bonneville. Now, more recently, these past motorcycle legends have provided the inspiration for the genesis of a whole new modern classic category, which is one of the biggest new bike segments of the last 10 years. Now again, in this world, Triumph once again leads the way with the modern generation of those famous names. So Triumph's contemporary classic roadsters combine that timeless style married to class-leading performance and capability. Now, if you look at the latest Triumph Scrambler, it goes way beyond just the look. It actually lives up to the name with genuine all-road and off-road capability. And the ultimate modern cafe racers, a legend reborn, but with the performance and the handling to reward even the fastest riders. Now, these Triumphs have played a major part in creating, shaping, and growing the category that we see today, where they hold a leading position courtesy of that iconic Triumph style and design, married to genuine modern capability and handling, and combined with that Triumph characterful and responsive power delivery and a really distinctive exhaust note. And with all of our bikes, we focus on providing class-leading quality, detail, and finish. Now, another key part of the position they hold comes down to the launch 8 years ago of a whole new world of personalization, which has transformed how people customize their bikes. All of this has made owning a Triumph something to really shout about, with today's movie stars and famous faces choosing Triumph for their fun, their style, and critically for their image. From James Bond in No Time to Die, to David Beckham riding Triumph on screen and in many of his product partnerships. We've also got Tom Cruise, Chris Pratt, and many more, as Paul has mentioned. All of those guys choosing Triumph for character, style, and individuality. Now, coming back to what we are going to show you today, our ambition here is very simple. We want to give a whole new generation of riders an opportunity to own a Triumph. Now, specifically, the brief that we've set out to deliver was all about creating a new 400cc capacity choice for our iconic Speed and Scrambler lineups. Developing bikes recognizable as Triumph, but more accessible to more people. What we wanted to do was to deliver on all of the brand's renowned USPs, quality, characterful performance, and design. And like every Triumph, we've focused on delivering the perfect ride, all for a whole new generation of fans. So now, the latest milestone in the history of Triumph, and I think probably what you've all been waiting for, it's time to show you the bikes. The Speed 400 and our new Scrambler 400X. What do we think? All good. So these are all new ground-up Triumph motorcycles. Now each of them, as you can see, have got that Triumph Speed and Scrambler design DNA. Now these share many hallmark Triumph features with the silhouette, the signature sculpted tank, and the knee indents. We've got that classic engine profile with the Triumph triangle badge, the distinctive finned head and header clamps, and that flowing upswept silencer. Now, both of them come with the all-new Triumph 400 single-engine platform, which we have christened the TR series. Now, again, this is a ground-up new design which has been engineered and tuned for Triumph's characterful, compelling, and responsive power delivery, with a class-leading level of performance and a very evocative and distinctive exhaust note. Now, with the name, the TR Series, this has been chosen to celebrate Triumph's historic 6-day trial racing singles and the TR Trophy bloodline that they inspired. Now, both of these bikes have got an all-new chassis. Each of them has been optimized with its own unique suspension setup, designed to deliver an agile and confidence-inspiring ride. They both also bring the substance and the presence that you would expect of a Triumph, and of course, that top-drawer quality of finish and detailing that Triumph is known for. Now, with the accessories, we've got over 25 available for each model. They've been designed hand-in-hand with the bikes, bringing the riders lots of options to add their own style, more comfort, more practicality, and lots of new luggage options. So, that's a top-level overview. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to give you the highlights of each of the bikes individually, starting with the Speed 400. Now, this now joins Triumph's most successful modern classic roadster lineup, all three born from that legendary 1937 Triumph name. Now, the new 400 will sit alongside the Speed Twin 900, which was launched in 2016, with over 40,000 sold, making it the single highest-selling bike in our classic family. It's got that timeless design and a real fun and accessible and easy ride. And completing the lineup, of course, we have the Speed Twin 1200, which was launched in 2018, and we've now sold over 17,000 to date. Now, that bike brought to the family a new performance and handling benchmark, which has gone on to be a big fan favorite and also a multiple award winner. Now, with this bike, the new 400, it shares exactly that same Speed family design DNA and style. It's got that silhouette, it's got the tank, the knee indents, the engine profile with the triangle badge, the finned head and the header clamps, and of course, that sweeping silencer. Now, with the engine, of course, it's got that new TR Series 400cc single. It comes with a 6-speed gearbox. The performance is class-leading. We've got 40 PS at 8,000 RPM, and we've got 37.5 Newton meters of torque at 6,500 RPM. But I think what is even more impressive is we've actually got above 30 Newton meters of torque all the way from 3,000 to 9,000 RPM. So that spread of torque is really, really wide. And in terms of modern technology, that's all been sensitively incorporated. We've got ride-by-wire and liquid cooling. And finally, with the highlights for the new Speed Twin chassis, you're going to have a great experience riding these bikes, hopefully, in the upcoming road launch. I mean, this has been engineered and tuned to give our trademark handling. It's a performance and an all-new dedicated roadster chassis. Now, we've got an accessible 790mm seat height and developed ergonomics. They've really been designed for optimum rider comfort and control. The bikes have got high-quality suspension and brakes and tires, including these large 43mm diameter upside-down forks and also an adjustable monoshock RSU. Plus, we've got key rider-focused technology, including a torque assist clutch, traction control, and ABS. Okay, so that's the highlights of the Speed 400. So let's now take a look at the same details for the new Scrambler 400X. Now, this joins another of Triumph's iconic names and lineups, and it can also trace its bloodline back to the world's first Scramblers. Now, the new 400X sits side by side with Triumph's Scrambler 900. That was launched in 2017, and we've got over 17,500 of those bikes sold to date. It's another fan favorite for personalization, and we've seen over 70% of those bikes fitted with genuine Triumph accessories. And finally, completing our Scrambler lineup, we've got the Scrambler 1200. Now, this, for those who have ridden it, is without doubt the class leader for scramblers in the big bike world. Living up to its name in every dimension, it's a multiple desert race and award winner, which since its launch in 2019 has sold over 15,000 bikes. Loved for the looks, but also for its genuine crossover touring road and advanced off-road capability. Now, with the new 400X, this absolutely shares the Scrambler family design with a host of authentic styling cues. Again, we've got that classic engine profile, the triangle badges, the distinctive finned head and header clamps, and also, you'll see on the other side of the bike, a twin pipe silencer. We've got lovely wide bars and a great upright commanding riding position. Now, with the engine, as with the Speed 400, this is the new TR Series 400cc single. Again, 6-speed gearbox. Again, it's got that class-leading performance, 40 PS, 37.5 Newton meters, and again, a really lovely exhaust note. It's also got the same modern technology as the Speed 400, ride-by-wire, liquid cooling, and finally with the new Scrambler X, this has been engineered and tuned to give that real agile and confidence-inspired all-road riding, thanks to a really dedicated Scrambler chassis, which has been designed for that perfect balance of comfort and control. Again, we've got high-quality suspension, brakes, and tires, 43mm diameter upside-down forks, and an adjustable monoshock RSU, plus the same key rider-focused technology as the Speed 400, a torque assist clutch, traction control, and ABS. Now, for the Indian market, both of these new models come with some unique features specific to the riding conditions. These include, of course, a sari guard, front number plate, and also grab handles. And additionally, we've got market-specific suspension settings, wheels, and tires. All of those have been specified to suit the local market conditions. So, let me share a little now about our thinking on who these bikes would appeal to and what options they might see as the competition that they can choose from. Now, from this, we could see that there are 3 likely types of rider in the Indian market. Now, the first of those being a younger person, possibly at the start of a successful career, who might be moving up from a smaller capacity bike and who want a bike that will impress their friends with style and capability. Now, potentially, this would be their first big bike and perhaps also their first new bike and premium brand. Now, secondly, we see the appeal of bikes in this class for riders who may be a little bit older, who want to start riding bigger bikes and are looking for the best combination of looks, performance, and quality. Now, again, this would potentially be the first premium big bike for them and may also be something that they are buying with the intention to keep. And finally, this is also a bike of choice for experienced big bike riders, people who are looking for a new fun option or possibly even a second bike choice. Now, a key part of our planning and ambition, as you would expect, has been to understand what riders want and value in this world. And what they told us is style matters a great deal to them, both in their bike being beautiful, but also being authentic. They want something that's really easy to maneuver, with a height they feel comfortable with, and to have a ride that's unintimidating and fun. But it also comes with a responsive and fully usable power delivery, plus, of course, a great sound. Now, on top of all of that, what they demand is a high level of quality and reliability, preferably from a brand with credibility and desirability, and at a price that represents genuine value for money. So, talking about the competition and what options riders might have today, we can see very easily that there are 2 main types of bike available. First, there is the middleweight modern classic world. Now here we set out to deliver a choice for customers wanting a new benchmark for style, for quality, and for finish, combined with higher overall performance than the competition, delivering the advantages of Triumph's characterful, compelling, and responsive power delivery, together with our easy, agile, and intuitive handling. Now, on a like-for-like basis versus that modern classic competitive set, these new Triumphs are better in every measurable way, from the power and torque to the weight, the specification of equipment, and also the service intervals. Now, the second existing option is, of course, the more premium European brand options. Now, here we set out to deliver the performance, capability, and the features that this segment expects, but in a much more characterful and stylish package, incorporating all of Triumph's USPs for quality, detail, and finish, characterful power delivery, and a confidence-inspiring handling. Now, with the price, when this is revealed, you will see that both of these new models will be very competitive. Now, for the international markets, maybe you're not so worried, but the price will be announced later in this year. And in India, Rajiv and Nick will come back to this shortly. Now, on top of that, being Triumphs, they will also come with a class-leading 10,000-mile or 16,000-kilometer service interval. Now, as part of a package that really delivers a great low cost of ownership for these bikes. We've got a 2-year unlimited mileage warranty. Together with the price, the leading quality and performance, and the low cost of ownership, we believe these represent great value and deliver more than the other premium European brands, and also much more than the other classic roadster options. Now, at the beginning of this journey, we saw an opportunity to collaborate with Bajaj as a powerful way of bringing the scale of manufacturing and engineering expertise in India that we wanted. And with Bajaj, we found what we believe is a unique partner that matched both our ambition and our view on the quality and standards needed to carry the Triumph badge. Now, as the world's most valuable two- and three-wheeler automobile company, and with a track record of similar successful partnerships, we have worked together over the last 5 years to deliver what you see here today. Specifically, based on Triumph's concept and design, Bajaj have worked hand in hand with us to apply their world-class experience in engineering and large-scale, efficient and cost-effective manufacturing, sharing together the detailed engineering and testing, really working between both facilities as one team. And what I'd like to do now is I'd like to take an opportunity to thank Rajiv Bajaj and his team for their passion, their talent, and their commitment to what I'm sure you'll all agree are wonderful new additions to the Triumph family and also to the world of motorcycling. Thank you, guys. Now, finally from me, in regards to the manufacturing, of course, I'm pleased to share that these bikes are being built by Bajaj Auto in India, and they'll also be built by Triumph in our factories in Thailand and Brazil. So that's all from me. So thank you very much for listening, and I'm going to hand back now to Sumit.
That's great. Thank you, Steve. I think this would probably go down as a gold standard in engineering partnership. And how to extend a premium brand to a new customer segment while keeping true to its celebrated values or DNA. You know, I've seen these bikes many times before, but each time I see them, they pull you even closer. And the Indian customers will not have to wait long before seeing them in the showrooms. The Speed 400 will be available at Triumph dealerships within this month, around the second half of July. The Scrambler 400 would be available at the Triumph network in October. And the network itself is rapidly being ramped up to reach 100 showrooms across 80 cities before the end of this fiscal year. So these Triumphs are going to be in easy access across the country for everyone. Let's now capture this historic moment for posterity. I would now like to invite our Managing Director, Mr. Rajiv Bajaj, and Triumph Motorcycle CEO, Mr. Nick. Yes, I think this would be a better one first, and then maybe then you can go. Yeah, I'll take it. I'll take it from you. We'll just take a moment to set up for the Q&A.
So,
Their own big boy seats.
Sorry, just be careful.
check.
I would request everybody to get settled. We will now proceed with the Q&A session. Please raise your hand if you have a question. I would request to share your name and your publication's name before asking the question. Someone nearby will approach you with the mic.
So good afternoon, everyone. Usually first 5 minutes there are no questions, so we need to warm you guys up. So give me a couple of minutes to start with. Please excuse my voice because I have a bit of a cold, as you can probably tell. I want to start by thanking somebody who is not here with us today, Mr. John Bloor, Nick's dad, who brought Triumph back into the motorcycling world. We had occasion to meet him in 2007 for the first time. And I cannot help but wish he was amidst us here, but he couldn't make it this time. But I'm delighted that Nick is here. Thank you, Nick. It's a long way to come. And thank you for bringing your senior team with you. Thank you both, Paul and Steve, for your riveting presentations. I really enjoyed them. I enjoyed them more than what I saw in London. So you made a special effort for our people. Thank you so much for that. And I want to really thank everyone at Triumph, because you can see exactly why it is such a proud moment for all of us at Bajaj to be associated with this iconic brand. So it's a real privilege. If this is your business, if this is your life's work, then I think there is no bigger privilege than to be associated with such a company and such a brand. I want to start by welcoming my dealers. I'm not able to see them, but I know about 30 or 40 of them are here. And in particular, I want to welcome the new generation that has come with some of our senior dealers, from Pushu in Bangalore to Nitin Dada in Ludhiana. They have come with their next generation, as have I. So it's wonderful to see the new generation come into the business. And with that, I would like to share with you the first of many secrets I have to share with you today. So if you ask me the right questions, I will give you some very interesting insights into things you don't know about Bajaj and Triumph. So the first secret is this, that, as I said, we met Triumph for the first time in 2007, and we stayed in touch till about 2016. It is only from 2017 that we started to work together. And now we are in 2023. So my son Rishabh is here today because he's 24 and he's been listening to me talking about Triumph for the last 16 years. He believes that it is a figment of his father's imagination because he hasn't seen a motorcycle in 16 years. So he's here today to see the real thing. And I hope he likes what he's seeing today. So you may not have realized it, but 2007 to 2023 is 16 years. So we have set a new world record already with this launch of the longest time a partnership has taken to create two motorcycles. So we already set one new record today. So with that first secret, let me now invite your questions, especially for Nick, who has come all the way to be with all of you. And I welcome all our friends from the media here today, and over to you and Nick.
Hi, Nick. Yeah. Hi, Rajiv. Congratulations on the launch. Could you begin with the price, please, for these motorcycles?
We thought that might be the first question, and you just have to wait a little bit longer.
We will save that question for the end because we are afraid after that you will leave us. So we will finish everything else and come back to that.
Good evening, sir. Good afternoon, sir. Dino from Dino's Vault. It's an absolute honor to share this big moment. And the bikes look absolutely out of the world. The fit and finish is on another level altogether. So first thing, typical Indian mentality. What's the expected mileage? Any claim from the company in terms of mileage? Because most of them tend to, lean on that. Because this comes at around 400cc category. So it has to be a little pocket friendly as well. So any particular claim when it comes to fuel efficiency?
So from the fuel efficiency, the detail will be in the press pack afterwards, but it's around 80 miles to the gallon. Apologies for the conversion of that.
Mr. Bajaj, this is Lalitendra Mishra from The Hindu. What are the commercial terms of this joint venture?
Sorry, what is the?
Commercial terms, how much Bajaj will get, how much Trump will get.
The commercial terms of the partnership.
Yeah.
Okay, so as Paul and Steve elaborated, Triumph, being the custodians of the brand, are the ones that are responsible for the brand, for the product, for the design, and everything that you saw on the screen. The value that we bring to the table is in participating in the development, in engineering it to required quality and cost, which measures up to their standards, and then of course to sourcing, manufacturing, and distribution in India. So that's the partnership basically. Does that answer your question? If the bike costs 3 lakhs, then? So when we talk about the price, we will talk about that. Because you are already trying to put words in my mouth with 3 lakhs and things like that. I'm quite seasoned like that,
Good afternoon, gentlemen. This is Tushar from BQ Prime. Couple of questions. What are the volumes that you're targeting this year, both from the production front as well as from the sales front? And when will the dealership expand to a total of 120 that we have talked about in the past? Thank you.
Okay, so I'll take the capacity question. So Triumph will be made at our new plant in Chakan that we call Chakan 2. We have an installed capacity as of now for 25,000 motorcycles a month. That includes both KTM and Triumph motorcycles, of which right now the short answer would be that our capacity for Triumph is 5,000. Now that doesn't mean that in this month, as Sumit said, we are going to start already distributing. But obviously in the first month we cannot make 5,000. So it will take some time to ramp up. We can't say exactly when, maybe 3 months or 4 months. And after that, If we have to expand further, then we watch the demand and we adapt to that. Because as you can imagine, the most of the facilities, the assembly or the painting, etc., is common. It doesn't matter whether you're making a Triumph or a KTM. So it is not difficult to scale up from there. I will let Nick share his thoughts on volumes or exports, etc.
Yeah, so from an exports point of view, these bikes have been conceived absolutely for a global audience. So exports to other markets all around the world, all of the Triumph markets that we're currently in will start towards the end of this calendar year. And that includes go into the UK, America, South America, Japan, Southeast Asia. So this is truly a global bike, and the bookings that we're already taking in many of those markets are incredible. So they've really hit the mark. So, and domestic. Yeah. So from an exports point of view, these bikes are sitting in between a couple of segments, so it's difficult to pinpoint exactly, and also we need to build our network as well because it's a different audience. But there's no reason why we can't be getting to 20 and 30,000 units from this platform.
So I can only say that we are hopeful of very significant volumes. I don't want to put a number because you will start guessing the price again from that number. So again, we will wait for the end for that. But as Sumit indicated, probably he didn't say it very specifically, but the Triumph motorcycles that you see here will be sold only through the Triumph dealerships. So for example, they're not going to be sold through Bajaj dealerships or KTM dealerships. And if the dealers who are here are going to invest in dealerships for the brand exclusively, you can imagine that that volume has to be considerable to make it worth their while to put up new establishments. So obviously we are very confident. Hopefully you will also identify with that confidence when we talk about the pricing at the end of this session. And thank you, Dino, for your remark about the fit and finish. I remember we met some time back. And I think the fit and finish is good, but now I think it is great after seeing what I saw 2 days ago. Now I think it is especially good.
Nick, if it's possible for you to tell us what do these motorcycles really say about Triumph's commitment to the India market? You're launching these motorcycles specifically in India. They will be exported abroad as well. But when it comes to your commitment to India, what kind of growth volumes do you expect from this market in the years to come?
In the US?
But it should just repeat a little.
Yeah. So the Indian market's the biggest market in the world for motorcycles within this capacity. So it's really clear that for a brand to be truly global, you need to have a significant presence in India. We've been here for a number of years. We've got 14 dealers. We've been selling around 1,000 bikes a year, and the brand's established itself well. This partnership is enabling us to really step up to the next level and really take the brand, as Steve and Paul have said, to a whole different customer base in India. So it's significant for us. It's a huge commitment by Triumph. We've been working incredibly well together as a collaboration and partners. We're really happy with how it's gone, and we've ended up with 2 fantastic motorcycles that are surely going to take the market by storm.
This question's for Rajiv and Nick, both of them. This is Adil here. Important thing is, why is this middleweight category so very vibrant and vital right now in the global motorcycling scene? Because I've seen that overall, all these rocket ships and whatnot, people really want to see the world as they go through it rather than whiz past it. So what is your take on that, Nick, and how important is this category, Rajiv, from your award thing to really take on Royal Enfield at its game?
So from a global point of view, the 400, 500 category, it's growing in popularity and importance, and depending on the market, it's really difficult to generalize across the whole of the world. But in some markets, it's down to affordability. In other markets, changes in trend of use. It's great for commuting into cities around in Europe, in the US, in terms of licensing and the bikes you're allowed to ride on or learn to ride on. It gives you the opportunity to enter a brand. So it varies by market, but you're right, there's a lot of excitement around this kind of mid-capacity range, which is great, really exciting. And if it brings more younger people into riding as well and builds upon the motorcycle sort of population, then it's fantastic for everyone.
I think Nick has answered the question.
Royal Enfield.
Royal Enfield. No. So before Royal Enfield, I want to share with you, Adil, something. See, we learned a lot in the last 30 years from Honda, actually. And one of the interesting things I heard Soichiro Honda to have said was that it is the customer that shapes the market. So, we don't think that we are actually shaping the market in that sense. It is the consumer that actually develops and shapes the market. And our job is to respond to that better than anyone else, and hopefully we are doing that over here today. So if for whatever reason the consumer sees value in these motorcycles, so we are going to make the most of that opportunity. I saw an interview again day before where Pawan was asked, why they are participating in this segment, and he said that it's because the more the merrier, and more competition brings out the best for customers. But our reason as Bajaj to participate in this with the help of Triumph is very simple. There was a famous bank robber called Willie Sutton in the US. When he was asked, why do you rob the bank? He said, because that is where the money is. So the money is in Royal Enfield, then we have no choice but to rob that bank. So that is why we are making these motorcycles, you could say in a certain sense. But I am not the troublemaker for Royal Enfield. It is Steve, because if you saw his presentation, he said we are the original, we are the authentic, and we are the beautiful. That means somebody else is not original, not authentic, and not so beautiful.
Hi Rajiv, hi Nick. Congratulations on today's launch. My name is Mrigendra. I represent Motorworld India. And my question is probably more for Rajiv, right? Rajiv, these motorcycles are probably going to share wallet and shelf space with another partner of yours.
Sorry?
These motorcycles in this category are probably going to share shelf space and wallet space with another partner of yours, right? And we all know what that partner is. What do you have to say about that?
Well, our association with KTM goes back to 2007. So we've been working with them for 16 years already. As you're probably aware, when we started with KTM, they were making probably 65,000 motorcycles a year. If I'm not wrong, they make in excess of 300,000 motorcycles a year now. And in sheer volume terms, KTM is now the world's largest premium motorcycle brand. So that's one. Second, in my personal opinion, Triumph is not only right up there in terms of brand, but probably, as you can see, has a broader appeal. So while Nick will never say this, but I think Triumph will be 500,000 or 1 million motorcycles one day, and we want to be part of that journey. So for us at Bajaj, it is a great privilege to be part of this journey twice over. You don't get this chance once in life. We have this chance twice. Now, what you are implying is that will there be some overlap?
Yeah.
So nobody knows, because we cannot read the consumer's mind. But I think you will have to agree with me. The overlap between Triumph and KTM may be 10-20%. But the overlap between Triumph and Harley or Enfield will be 100%.
I agree with you.
So then we are on the same page then.
Thank you, Rajiv.
Hi, excuse me.
Hi. Congratulations on the bikes and congratulations to both the companies. Wish you success. My name is Prateek. I'm from Exhibit Magazine. Now, based on the same engine architecture, could we expect other body styles? And if so, how soon?
Based on the same engine, other styles and how soon?
Yeah. So, yeah, these are the first two. Motorcycles, absolutely, we will build out on the platform. There's going to be a number of exciting models that are in the pipeline and still to come, but today we're focused on these two models. So, yeah.
Hi, Ausif Chako from the School of Dirt here. Why are we waiting till October for the Scrambler?
Well, quite frankly, it's not easy to, because these are brand new motorcycles, right? And there's a lot of content on them. So it's not as simple as some of the other stuff that's been put out. So we thought it's best we do one thing at a time. And we are expecting, and it's also a new plant, right? So there's new people, new equipment, new product. So to do both simultaneously would have been a bit trying. So, and I can tell you, the standards, especially in terms of aesthetics, fit and finish, that Triumph expects are so high that it has really been a challenge for Pradeep and team to be able to achieve that. So we want to just do the best we can, one motorcycle at a time. And that's why it's spaced out by 3 months, but otherwise, there's no other reason for that.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, gents. Over here on your left. Siddharth. Hi, Rajiv. Hi, Nick. Congratulations on the bikes. The question I have one for each of you, actually. Rajiv, on the production side, since Bajaj has also been involved in the engineering, I'd like a clarification. The other two plants that would also be making these bikes globally, what role would they play in terms of the overall global production, percentage-wise? And would this be like a mother plant that supplies them aggregates in any way? And since you mentioned that you're sort of scaling up to October for the second product, and then we know there are more coming, overall, where do you see capacity for this family of motorcycles in, say, a year or two from now?
Okay. I said long time, not seen you. So if I understood your question right, we are going to produce these motorcycles at first only out of Chakan 2. And as far as Bajaj is concerned, we are going to make them only out of that plant. We are not making it out of any of our other plants. So as I indicated, we have enough capacity to keep expanding for that. I think Pradeep said that we can take capacity from 25,000 to 40,000. And then from there, you can double it further if the need be. So as you can tell, there is a big runway there. So till Nick is able to get to 1 million motorcycles, I don't think we have a problem. We'll keep expanding at the same place. But I will let Nick tell you about their plans to assemble these motorcycles in other Triumph factories in other parts of the world.
Yeah, so the vast majority of the bikes will be built here in India. But we've got 2 facilities, one in Brazil and one in Thailand, that will also be assembling and building the bikes for distribution in their local markets. But it will be the Chakan plant that will be supplying into Europe and the UK.
But would the Chakan plant also be sending kits to these Thailand and Brazil production sites because it's an assembling operation?
So components will be flowing through the Chakan plant, yes.
All right, so the question I had for you very quickly then is also, since you have, of course, said that this is going to be a family of vehicles, there will be more coming in the pipeline. Overall, this new platform and this new engine, what does it do for Triumph in terms of the kind of volume ambitions you have, again, in a year or two from now?
So the opportunity in India is huge in terms of scale compared to what we're used to in really the 600cc plus category that we're in. So from a volume perspective, it adds significant volume to the Triumph business. But I think what's really important to look at as well is from a consumer point of view. The fact that this is going to be bringing in younger people into the Triumph brand, and we need to keep them and build them up through the Triumph brand over the years to come. And it's great when you see these two bikes sat next to their brothers and sisters in terms of the Scrambler 900 and 1200 and the Speed 900 and 1200 also. They fit absolutely seamlessly into the product lineup from a perspective of quality, fit, finish, the performance, everything. So yeah, the volume's obviously important, but also look into the longer term. What these bikes can do is really open the Triumph brand up to a new segment that we haven't been appealing to, or we've been just a bit too out of touch in terms of the pricing for them to be able to join the Triumph family.
All right, thank you. And I'm sure on behalf of the press, I can say, Rajiv, thank you that the cold hasn't dulled your press conference form.
So on that note, I will share with you my second secret.
Happily.
This Paul wanted us to take all of you to London for the launch. But Rakesh refused, saying as a Marwadi company mein aisa nahi hota hai. So that's the second secret of the day. But thank you for coming to Akurdi.
Happy to be here. Congrats again.
We will take last few questions. We'll just take last two questions. Go ahead.
Yeah, this is Geeta here. Mr. Bajaj, would you consider equity investment either in Triumph or Triumph Invest, graduate beyond this commercial agreement that you have and go to the next level?
So Geeta, I can only remind you that our partnership with Kawasaki is now almost 40 years old. It started in around 1983. And we never had equity in each other, neither Bajaj in Kawasaki nor Kawasaki in Bajaj. And today, of course, the only thing we do together is work together in the Philippines, where Kawasaki distributes Bajaj motorcycles. And we do very well. We are together the leader of the market over there. So I guess what I'm trying to say to you is that, as long as two companies are well aligned in terms of their objectives in the marketplace, then everything else is secondary to that. So at this moment, this is not something that we discuss. We are very happy to be brought together by our respective strengths, by the value that we add to each other. And that is how we have started this journey together.
So how much have you invested so far for the production and?
So this is a very difficult, so the short answer is that I don't have an answer for you because as I said, our plants are common and our supply chain is also common. Indeed, most of our dealers here who have come here because they are going to be Triumph dealers are already dealers of Bajaj or Bajaj and KTM or KTM, etc. So when you have common facilities and common investments to a large degree, it is very difficult to say how many crores is for what and how many crores is for what.
Thank you.
Hi Rajiv, Rishad here from Autocar. Congratulations, bikes look lovely and they show us that your levels of engineering and manufacturing are constantly going up. So my question there is two questions. One, do we see a Bajaj product leveraging this platform? And two, the next logical step would be a twin-cylinder engine. So would that...
The second question again?
The next logical step probably is a twin-cylinder engine from Bajaj. So is that something that comes from you first or one of your partners?
So the answer to the first question is that, there is a misconception that for example, the KTM and the Pulsar have the same engine or something like this. You know, so you are experienced enough, you know that is not the case. So we don't think consumers want the same bike with different names on it. We think consumers want different bikes when they wear different names. That is the basis of all credibility, authenticity, differentiation, and brand position. So the short answer is that what we have developed here is for Triumph, with Triumph, and we are not about to use the same powertrain or chassis and build a Bajaj motorcycle on it. For sure, between our different products, why between different motorcycles? Between a Chetak electric and an electric three-wheeler, you may see some common parts, you may see many similar parts, but that doesn't mean that they are built of the same thing or they are the same product that's just badged differently. So I know some companies do it like that, but I think consumers see through that very quickly. You guys see through it very quickly and write about it, so it doesn't help to try to be clever like that. So no, this is genuinely Triumph, and this is uniquely Triumph, and this is solely Triumph. As far as the twin cylinder, I think Nick is in a better position because, you know, quite frankly, brands like KTM and Triumph, you are correct to suggest, would be at the forefront of multi-cylinder products. So as Bajaj, I can tell you, we have no such plans at this moment. But if Nick wishes, he can share some.
Yeah, so at the moment, there's no plans to do anything other than working on this platform that's already, we're launching today, so we'll be based around this.
Hi, this is Alicia from Mint. Question for you, Mr. Bajaj. You said the money in motorcycles is really in this segment in the market. But it isn't as if there haven't been attempts in the past to launch products and take on RE. But they have been somewhat unsuccessful to really dislodge it from the position it currently enjoys. So what will be different this time? Of course, you know, you do have the legacy of, you know, very well-known, you know, a brand. But what really will be different that could make things switch this time around? Is it the market dynamics or is it the product you'll have? Your thoughts?
I don't think we started off with the objective of targeting any particular competitor, and I've said this on many occasions that you know, Siddharth is like a younger brother, quite frankly, and what he has done at Royal Enfield is stunning. I'm sure Nick will also agree, and they've had tremendous success. So I don't think you can build a big partnership based on a small objective like targeting a specific competitor. As Nick elaborated, we have built a partnership for the world of motorcycles. And quite frankly, Royal Enfield is not that big a motorcycle outside of India. So, you know, when we have looked at all the markets, Royal Enfield is just one of the considerations over there. Having said that, I would agree with what you are implying that for the first time, perhaps, the Indian consumer will have a choice of two brands, namely Harley and Triumph, which are really best placed to compete in that mind space, let's call it that. Now, how consumers will react, time will tell.
We will have to close the Q&A now. Thank you for asking all those questions.
Rajiv, can I have one last question?
Yes, of course, Adil.
And that's for Nick Blue. Nick, you are going to get into the motocross and enduro championships from next year. That brings you into direct competition with KTM. How is that dynamic going to play out?
So, yeah, we are entering into the motocross next year. We're super excited by it. It's a big challenge for us, and yeah, we're excited. Everyone is used to competition, so I don't think there's a dynamic to talk about there. And plus, we're here to talk about these two bikes. So, thank you.
So I think Sumit says that we are out of time as far as the Q&A is concerned. Thank you very much again, everyone, for coming and participating as you have. Now we have to answer the all-important question of price. And let me tell you my secret number 3. I was so excited to announce this price, but then and of course, as the custodian of the brand, ultimately Triumph makes that decision, right? So I have never announced such a high price in my life. You know, when I launched Bajaj motorcycles, I never had occasion to announce such a big number. So I am going to chicken out of this one, and I am going to pass it on to Nick. He's used to these kind of prices. So Nick, they are all waiting to hear you announce the price for the Roadster to start with.
Thank you, Rajiv. So, yeah, in terms of the pricing, the Scrambler 400 will be announcing the price later. But I'm pleased to say for the Speed 400, the price is 2.33 lakhs. However, before you press the button...
Wait, there is a but. There is a but.
But before you press the button, we've got a really important message from my father, John Bloor.
Good afternoon. Apologies that I'm unable to be with you in person today for this truly landmark moment in the development of the Triumph brand. When we started in 1990, our ambition for Triumph was very simple: to take this well-known and loved British name to a new level, creating motorcycles that bring together that unique Triumph style with modern performance, handling and specification that make them the best bikes they can be, which is still very much our focus today. In our drive to make Triumph motorcycles even more accessible to more riders across the world, we sought to develop a range of smaller capacity motorcycles and establish a collaboration with the right partner who shared our ambition and view on the quality and standards needed to carry the Triumph badge. With Bajaj Auto, we found the perfect partner, both from their outstanding engineering and high volume manufacturing expertise, and also their attitude and commitment to the quality and standards that go into making class-leading motorcycles. Over the last few years, Rajiv Bajaj and his team have shown many times their capability and commitment to this partnership, working hand in hand with our design team and our engineers to deliver 2 new motorcycles that we are launching here today. Together as a team, I can tell you that we are very pleased with the results. And to celebrate this landmark moment, we have worked together to create a special introductory price on the Triumph Speed 400 of 2.23 lakhs for the first 10,000 Triumph fans in India. I really hope that you enjoy riding both these fabulous new Triumph motorcycles. Thank you very much for your time.
So you can see who is in charge. The father is always in charge, whether in my case or his case. And I hope you heard that clearly, that the price for the Scrambler will come later, but the price for the Speed, as Nick announced, is 2.33 lakhs. However, Mr. Bloor has intervened to offer a special price of 2.23 lakhs for the first 10,000 of these motorcycles. So you should start booking this immediately. And I hope Triumph customers in India will be really delighted with this fantastic gesture. And just for good order, I must tell you this was recorded last week. It has nothing to do with what happened day before.
Yeah, no, it's a really special day. I think we can't stress how well the collaboration has worked in terms of building these bikes from the concept. The engineering departments in the UK and here in India have done an absolutely incredible job, and the manufacturing teams here as well. For me, it's really a model of how collaboration and partnership should work. So thank you very much. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'll take it. Thank you, Mr. Bajaj. Thank you, Mr. Bloor. I'm sure that was a delight what everybody heard. And thank you, everyone, for joining us. We come to the end of the presentation. As you step out, you will find several of our new bikes on display to admire and create your own content videos. For your ease, we will have 16 bikes on display here on the stage, behind you in that pre-function area, outside the hall, and 2 of them scenically placed in the gazebo in the lawns outside. There are enough and more bikes for everyone, so guys, do take your time. I'm sure all of you would want to check them up close. I would request dealers and employees to give priority to our friends from the media if they need space to shoot their content. We also invite you for the high tea that will be served shortly in the Triumph Gallery right outside. Now, on behalf of Bajaj Auto and Triumph Motorcycles, I thank you all for coming and being an amazing audience. I hope you enjoy the rest of the evening with these fabulous machines. Thank you very much. Thank you all.